Hey guys, so last Sunday I saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire in the movie theater. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a review for the film, say some stuff about what happens in it and some of the stuff I liked about it. And yeah, but before we get started, if you haven't seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yet, be warned, there might be some spoilers that will be mentioned in the video. Okay, so the first question you're probably wondering is, did I like the movie? Yes, I did like the movie. I thought it was a very good movie. I think it did a great job as a Ghostbusters movie. It was a little more different than all the other Ghostbusters movies, but either way, it was still a very good Ghostbusters movie. I think it met all the requirements it needed to at least be considered a good Ghostbusters movie and stuff, and we might as well go over those requirements. And yeah. Okay, so the first requirement was bring in a new big bad. Someone that isn't Gozer or Vigo or that one villain from the 2016 reboot. And yeah, they did give us a new big bad named Garaka, which was this big godlike ghost with ice powers that can freeze people to death with fear. Like Ray called it the death chill. And he also had the power to control other ghosts. Like there was this one scene where they were holding up the golden orb, which was holding Garaka at the time, to the mini puffs, and they were all mesmerized by it. And yeah, so for most of the film, Garaka was trapped within the golden orb that Kumail Nanjiani's character had, and whose character turned out to be a being called the Fire Master, which was a person that has the power to control fire and fight back against Garaka and stuff. And yeah, the second requirement was show more of the original Ghostbusters, because in Afterlife, the original Ghostbusters had only one or two scenes, like quick cameo scenes and stuff. And yeah, Frozen Empire showed more of the original Ghostbusters. They give us more scenes of them. Like, we got to see more of Dan Aykroyd's Ray, Ernie Hudson's Winston Zeddemore, Annie Potts' Janine Melmitz, and, of course, Bill Murray as Peter Venkman. And we also get to see the return of William Atherton's Walter Peck, who, in the film, turns out to be the mayor, which caught me by surprise. I was like, how the heck did Walter Peck become mayor? I mean, after the events of the first 1984 Ghostbusters movie, this was so unexpected and surprising. But yeah, we did get to see more of those characters and stuff. So yeah, that requirement was met. But we didn't get to see Sigourney Weaver's Dana Barrett in the film, so that's a bummer. Or Rick Moranis' Louis Tully, so that's also a bummer. Maybe they might return in the next Ghostbusters movie, if they ever decide to make one, who knows. Heck, maybe they might even have Dana suit up as a Ghostbuster, since they had Janine suit up as a Ghostbuster in Frozen Empire. Who knows? There are a lot of possibilities, so we'll have to wait and see. The third requirement was bring back Slimer, because Slimer was nowhere to be seen in Ghostbusters Afterlife, though I think I can understand why he wasn't in Afterlife. I think they even explained why at some point. Like, I mean, for most Ghostbusters films were set in New York City, where we usually see Slimer, but Ghostbusters Afterlife is set in Summerville, Oklahoma, which is a completely different place that's not New York City, so yeah, I mean, that would probably explain why Slimer wasn't there at all. Like, I mean, we got to see a new ghost called Muncher, which I'd say would be the Slimer of Summerville, Oklahoma and stuff. But yeah, in Frozen Empire, we're set back in New York City, and Slimer does return. We get to see a few scenes of him, seeing him slime Finn Wolfhard's Trevor. And yeah, there's even this one scene where Slimer actually kind of helps out by eating up the possessor when he decides to possess a pizza, and Slimer just eats him up. And yeah, so yeah, we got to see Slimer in the film, so check mark for that. Okay, so I think the fourth requirement was show a little more comedy, because in Afterlife, it did have a little comedy, still kept the comedy vibe alive, but it also mostly showed more of like a serious, dark vibe, like with Gozer related stuff, like even in the beginning where we see Egon get killed by Gozer in the opening, and you know what I mean. Well, in Frozen Empire, it still tries to get some comedy in there. Yes, there is some more comedy than what Afterlife had, but Frozen Empire also kept the serious vibe alive that Afterlife had. Like, when it comes to scenes about Garaka, we get some serious vibes there. Like, in the beginning, we get a flashback set in 1904, I think it was, where we see the firemen that used to work at that firehouse, Hook and Ladder 8, where the Ghostbusters headquarters right now is at and stuff, and they go to this building where they find people in a room all frozen up, probably by Garaka, it's where we also see the fire master that came before Kumail Nanjiani's character in the movie, and we see him holding the golden horn, which was currently holding Garaka at the time. You know what I mean, but it still showed at least a good amount of comedy. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to add a little more, like, I mean, for probably another Ghostbusters film, if they ever decide to make another film, that would be awesome if they could. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so I think the fifth and final requirement was play the classic Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters theme song. And yes, they do play that song in the very end of the movie, right after Winston's speech. We get to hear that song, and still awesome as always. Like, it's always good to hear the original Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters theme song. I think all Ghostbusters movies should at least include that specific song, especially films that are part of the original franchise, like Ghostbusters 1, 2, the third film, Afterlife, and Frozen Empire, the new one that we're doing a review about. And yeah, so I think that's all the requirements that were needed to make Frozen Empire at least a good Ghostbusters movie, which it is. Some critics say that it wasn't. I don't really trust critics that much. They're not always right. And this film is just one of those things that they're not always right about. So overall, I think it was a very good Ghostbusters movie. A good continuation. It was different, but it was good. I'd probably give the film 4 out of 5 stars. Just to show that it's at least a good Ghostbusters movie and stuff. So, yeah, I think that concludes with the review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. And if you want me to do more review videos like this, then let me know in the comments. And yeah, all I can say is now, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.